Greeting everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. The growing demand for data-intensive applications, such as big data, 5 grams, edge computing, real-time analytics, and virtualized environments, has made SSD storage technology increasingly mainstream. SSDs offer optimal performance, energy efficiency, and high density, making them well-suited for these applications. In comparison to HDDs, SSDs deliver significant performance advantages, making them ideal for low latency and high random IOPS performance applications. However, despite using traditional interfaces like SAS and SATA, SSDs possess unique features that challenge conventional assumptions in modern storage, particularly in terms of SSD endurance. The difference between SSD and HDD is that SSD does not store data as a magnetic field on a spinning disk, but instead stores data in an NAND storage unit. Compared with HDD, this essential difference profoundly affects the durability and data retention characteristics of SSD. While NAND memory initially stored 1 bit per cell, the increasing demand for more cost-effective and higher capacity storage has driven engineers to devise new methods for cramming more bits into a single cell. Presently, the majority of NAND is of the multi-level cell type. SLC supports 50,000 to 100,000 write cycles. Initially popular in the enterprise market for its lifespan, accuracy, and comprehensive performance, it has waned in popularity due to high storage costs and relatively limited capacity. MLC incorporates 2 bits per cell, building upon SLC's 1 bit per cell. MLC typically requires up to 3,000 write cycles, while MLC supports up to 10,000 write cycles. A major advantage is the significant cost reduction in large capacity flash memory storage, impacting SSD prices passed on to consumers. TLC is the most economical in production, storing 3 bits per cell. While offering a cost-effective and high-capacity format, TLC has lower read and write life and relatively slower speed compared to MLC. QLC can store 4 bits per NAND. Compared to TLC, QLC boasts a 33% increase in storage density. QLC can withstand 1,000 programming or erase and write cycles, offering enhanced capacity at a lower cost. Wear leveling is a vital process that continually remaps SSD logical blocks to different physical pages in the NAND array. This even distribution of block erasing and writing prevents premature wear, maximizing SSD endurance. Despite being a background task affecting performance, wear leveling is crucial. Over-provisioning SSD NAND capacity enhances endurance by providing extra invisible NAND blocks to the SSD controller. This ensures an even distribution of erases and writes over time. While a larger spare area enhances controller efficiency, it also increases costs. Write amplification in flash memory involves physically writing more data than logically required, impacting SSD reliability. Manufacturers face the challenge of minimizing write amplification. Adding an internal cache helps, but raises costs based on SSD capacity. TRIM, ASATA command, informs the SSD about unnecessary blocks with previously stored data. This command resolves the issue of marking deleted files without erasing content, reducing moves during garbage collection. TRIM equivalents are UNMAP in SCSI and deallocate in NVMe, serving the same purpose and resulting in more free space, lower write amplification, and improved performance. DWPD measures how much of the disk can be written to every day and still be expected to function within the warranty period. For example, if the DWPD on a 500 GB SSD drive is 1, and the warranty period is 5 years, then the user can rewrite the entire 500 GB every day for 5 years before the failure is predicted. If its DWPD is 3 on a 500 GB drive and provides a 5-year warranty, then triple the number of cumulative writes in 5 years. TBW measures how many terabytes can be written to the disk before it will begin to malfunction. In order to provide a series of SSD solutions, most SSD manufacturers produce 3 different types of SSDs for specific applications. There are read-intensive, mixed-use, and write-intensive. They use DWPD to help classify the different endurance characteristics of each device. The following table lists the general SSD endurance levels on the market. Generally speaking, a larger DWPD is more secure to store data, but it all depends on the cost. SLC has the best write cycle, but it is more expensive than MLC, TLC, and QLC. Over-provisioning has better DWPD, but it requires more NAND flash memory to achieve. Users must choose the right SSD according to the application to optimize TCO. This event is applicable for QSAN customers and partners who are interested in learning about QSLIFE for solving the problem of monitoring the life endurance of SSDs. It assumes the reader is familiar with QSAN products and has general IT experience, including knowledge as a system or network administrator. If there is any question, please refer to the user manuals of products or contact QSAN support for further assistance. QSLIFE monitors SSDs of your storage system all the day. By analyzing and reorganizing the information provided by SSDs, QSAN provides accurate SSD remaining life for each disk in a clear and understandable manner. With the QSLIFE feature, users can easily understand the disks which need to be replaced in time, or customize the threshold for replacing SSDs. In the preceding chapter, we explored the measurement of SSD endurance. By understanding the SSD's capacity and warranty, one can approximately convert between DWPD and TBW through simple multiplication or division, and vice versa. While these measurements are rough, they exhibit similarities. However, enterprises cannot simply focus on the daily endurance of SSDs, given the remarkable usage of enterprise storage. To address this challenge, we've developed methods to measure and monitor the remaining life of the most popular SSDs in the market. SSD records contain numerous hidden parameters, including relocated sectors count, current pending sectors count, uncorrectable sector count, and more. We have condensed these parameters into a simple indicator to gauge the SSD's health. It's important to note that the SSD should be replaced before reaching the end of its life. Our design philosophy is to simplify and make it easily understandable for users, while handling the complexity on our end. QSLIFE design concept is to make it simple and easy to understand for users as much as possible, and leave the complexity to us. We will describe the benefits of the 3 functions separately. 1. SSD health and life remaining are 2 simple factors for users to understand the status of the SSD. SSD health displays SSD status by analyzing various variables, including the percentage of life remaining. Simplified into 3 states: normal is green, abnormal is amber, and warning as red lights for easy user comprehension. Vigilance is required if the SSD turns abnormal. Life remaining indicates the remaining SSD life cycle as a percentage, ranging from 100% as new to 0%. This provides a clear understanding of the SSD's lifespan. Users should monitor whether the SSD is approaching warning levels, as defined in the alert settings. 2. SSD usage is designed to monitor 1 year's SSD usage status and history. With this information, users can observe and analyze SSD usage, and even debug abnormal read-write I/O occurrences. 3. Customize alert settings as a special part of monitoring SSD. We design 3 stages for alert when the SSD lifespan drops by a certain percentage. We provide default values for information as 50%, warning is 30%, and error is 10%. But as you know, SSD capacity is the key. There is a big difference between 1% of 100 gigabytes and 10 terabytes capacity. Maybe the remaining 1% of 100 gigabytes has a lifespan of only 10 days, but 10 terabytes is as long as 6 months or more. Therefore, we provide custom alarm settings for practical use. The default values can be used under 500 gigabytes capacity and can be customized when using large capacity SSD. This section will describe the operations of checking SSD status and the threshold settings. Click the QSLIFE icon to pop up a window. Select the QSLIFE Settings function menu in the QSLIFE pop-up window. It will go to QSLIFE Settings function tab, which is used to monitor and optimize SSD performance and longevity. Here is an example of checking the health and life remaining of SSDs. Select a unit at the Array function submenu. It will scan and display all SSDs of this unit. Select an SSD which you want to watch in slot. The system will display the health status and the life remaining of the SSD. It is highly recommended to replace the SSD if the life remaining is under 10%. Select the SSD Usage Function tab in the QSLIFE to be used to monitor the SSD usage status and history. 1. Select a unit at the Array function submenu. It will scan and display all SSDs of this unit. 2. Select an SSD which you want to watch in slot. The system will display the SSD usage information. It includes up to 1 year of usage history to analyze the actual usage of your business. 3. It also displays the total read and written bytes of the SSD from the beginning. Select the Alert Settings function tab in the QSLIFE to be used to learn SSD usage effectively with custom notifications. User can customize the SSD endurance threshold settings at this page. Here is an example of setting the SSD alert. 1. There are 3 levels of the alert can be set. The options include information, warning, and error. Drag the dot on the slide bar or enter the percentages of the SSD endurance thresholds. The actions can also be changed in every alert level. 2. Then press the Apply button to confirm your configurations. First, this feature is free and no license required. About the alert setting, we provide default values. For general SSDs, the information level can be set to 50%, and the option setting alarm is reduced by 10%. When the remaining life of each SSD reaches 50%, 40%, and 30% at the information level, you will receive a notification. At the warning level, the alarm is reduced every 5%, from 30% to 10%. Finally, you will be notified by reducing 1% each time at the error level. The purpose is to let you know that the SSD should be replaced during the remaining life countdown. This QSLIFE is applied to XEVO series model. As SSDs become more popular in the storage industry, data protection issues become very important. The more data you put into an SSD, the less endurance of the SSD you get. Having a general solution for monitoring the endurance of SSDs is an immediate matter that every IT manager should be concerned about. QSLIFE can improve SSD management and prevent human negligence. QSLIFE can help users develop appropriate purchasing strategies. QSLIFE technology analyzes the details of most popular SAS SSDs for each user, making it easier to manage storage than